Okay, so what I have here is a space station that I built for my son's birthday. And it's really for both my boys, they'll both like it. But I have over 100 LED lights in it. I never really counted, but I know I used well over 100. I got some pictures off the internet and just put them on plexiglass and then post them on the board. And then I put LED lights behind those pictures. On top here is a little robot arm with a controller to the right, and I'll show how that works in a little bit. And then I have a USB for his DVD player that's attached here. And the DVD player was just an old DVD player. The CD player broke out of it. So I disconnected it. I glued the little switch that says open. So then I could have all the components out. And then I pulled the wire to the top, and I have a USB, which is actually to the left, you can see, and that's where I put his movies on. Okay, so how it works is I have a main power switch, and I linked everything to this main power. And what it does is it'll turn off everything, even if anything else is on. So it just turns off everything. That way, if we leave the house, turn it off real quick and don't have to turn off every switch. When I turn on main power, as you can see, there's these LED lights all on the side that turn on, and basically I just, out of the board, I just drilled a bunch of holes, and it's just a LED strip. It was really bright leaving it out in the open, so that's why I put it in these holes. Kind of dimmed it out, and I think it actually looks a lot better than what it did. Then he can turn on his DVD just like that, and it'll turn on all his DVD. His DVD will then turn on where he can pick a movie when he wants it. Over here is his cooling station, and he has a fan. He can turn it and turn how fast he wants the fan to go. And then working from right to left, here is like a ship status. You can turn it on, it blinks and turns on lights. Here's his control station, and a bunch of LED lights in here, and I've mixed blinking with just your regular, just all the time stay on LED lights. And then right here is his targeting system, and I wired this so he can't fire it, it won't work unless he arms it. So once he arms it, the whole targeting system comes on, his laser power comes on, and then when he presses fire, there's blinking lights, and it blinks up here, and then blinks where it's shooting on the ship, and it makes noise, and he can only do it if it's armed. Over here is his engine power, so he can press it, and then it spins this globe. Well, it just spins a globe as like a rocket ship and a alien ship, and it only works if he holds it down. Then right here we have radar, and to the left is a little solar system I put, and the two little red dots are alien ships, and then they're showing up on radar right here, the blinking lights. Okay, so then on this side is just, all this is plexiglass and just pictures I found on the internet, and then I put lights behind it, so then it looks like it lights up. And basically this is like the shields, this is the comm system, and this is I don't know, ship status, something else. It's just, I was just adding stuff. And then down here are, because we just saw Star Wars and he loves Star Wars, and I put his 4 favorite characters. Now I used the Adafruit soundboard to do 10 triggers, and I downloaded about, I think it's 54 tracks onto the Adafruit soundboard. So all these green buttons here and this one red button is controlled by the Adafruit soundboard. So if I click this, he lost his deflector shields, and they all play at random. There's just some of them are random noises. Right here is a comm.
Receiving incoming transmission.
And then over here it's just
reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal.
And then over here with all the Star Wars characters, R2, Han,
Good luck. You're gonna need it.
Luke,
Hey, you could have broken there.
and then Vader.
Quantum alive. No disintegration.
And they each have about 10 different tracks. Well, about 5 to 10 different tracks, and they'll play at random. Back over here at the control station, it just makes a bunch of beeping noises. And then his laser, that's a separate system. That was actually a laser gun that he had, a little toy, and then I took it apart and then put a step down voltage on it and ran it at 3 volts. This is, by the way, a 12 volt system, and then I have a couple power reducers down in there and reducing. I got to reduce the DVD player to 9 volts, then reduce the laser to 3 volts. Over here is engine noises. A lot of it's Star Wars theme. And then radar will make radar noises. And then, like I said, I hooked everything up to main power so I could just do this. And it shuts everything off. Now the DVD player has its own battery, so if it's charged it'll just stay on for a couple hours and just die out. But yeah, I'll probably turn off here in a second. It hasn't been really charged. And then up here I velcroed his controller, and he can move this claw around, and he can play around with it. This is something I got, I think, from Hobby Lobby. I think we got her a huge, like, half off or something, so we got it. And then there's that. And then I'll post the video, well, I'll probably post the video at the end of this showing the components inside, and then talk about it more. But right here, let's see, I put these little windows back there so you can see the electronics. It's kind of hard to see right now, but there's windows on each side, and then you can see all the electronics inside. And then right here is the plug, and then I put a handle on top so then I can carry it around, which this thing is heavy, not easy just to carry around. And that's my son's space station that I built him for his birthday. Alright, so I'll show you the centerpiece first. A lot of wiring. This is his DVD player, and I took it apart. I kept the battery. I mainly just took out the CD player, and then I glued the button that says the door's open down, so then he can play his DVD, just his DVDs from a USB. And I put an extender on here because I'm going to have all this covered, and I'll have it like sticking up like this, sticking out, and then I can pull it, put new movies on there whenever we get new movies. And then over here, come a little closer, over here is what controls the fan speed and all that kind of stuff. and then it has a knob right here. And then down here is a soundboard. And basically I just used 2 breadboards, hooked up all the triggers, and then I went on the outside, negative, positive, and hooked it up to all the triggers. Power comes through here, and I have a voltage regulator somewhere. Oh, right here. So this is the voltage regulator. Down here, can't really see it because it's in the wires. And it drops down from 12 volts to, I think I did like 4.5 volts. And then this chip can handle up to 5 volts, 3 volts to 5 volts. And then after I got everything wired, I took hot glue and just glued all over the top of it, so it's in there good. It's not coming out easy. But I did hot glue so I could just take off, because hot glue will peel right off, and then I can rewire it if I have to, or if I come up with a new idea to do with it. Right here, down here, I have another speed controller, and it controls, I just have this set to the minimum setting that will spin the spaceship and the alien ship and the world around. And I think it's like a 3-volt motor, so I have it running, I think at about 2 volts, and it spins it just fine. Then just tons of wiring. It looks like a mess, but there's a method to my madness. Over here, a lot of LEDs. Let's see. So here's a rat's nest of LEDs and all that kind of stuff. I try to keep it organized, but it was kind of hard to do that. Down here, this controls the LED light bar that's surrounding all here. And I have a remote that I can control how the lights blink and all that kind of stuff. And I had to plug it into a voltage regulator. I think I had to step it down to 9 volts or something like that. Down here, I have another voltage regulator for his little laser gun. It drops it down to like 3.5 volts. And it plays the laser music, so I should have just wired a whole sound system, but I did that first before I got that Adafruit sound card and learned how to use it. But I'll just keep it like this. And then we'll go on this side. And then this side has most of the sound. So I just have momentary switches all through here. And all these are just momentary switches that play sound. So if I hit it, it's just not working. That's weird.
Receiving incoming transmission.
Yeah, so these are just momentary switches. And then I did a lot of soldering, and then I just learned that a nut was easier, these nuts. So yeah, and then I left some wires out, and I'll probably electrical tape them so they don't touch nothing. But I left them out so I can add stuff. I was thinking about trying to figure out how to use the Arduino board and try to figure out how to mix sound with light buttons and all that kind of stuff. I can figure out pretty easy. It's just, I don't know if I want to go through all that hassle if I already have this finished project. Maybe I'll do that for another project. So, and then right here, I'm just using, so for the soundboard right here, I have just regular computer speakers plugged in. Yeah, so my computer doesn't have speakers anymore, but it was worth it. And then I'm using just a regular 12 volt 6 amp power block. It's like, it looks like a laptop thing. I just bought it online. And then I have a fuse right here, and I did a 5 amp fuse, so it's 1 amp lower than what it what it can handle, what the power block can handle. And I'm not even using 5 amps. I think it's like 4 point, or not even 4 amps, like 3.5 amps I'm using with everything on, all the sound playing and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that much, but you know, you gotta have a fuse just in case. Yeah, so I'll do a finished product. What I'm gonna do is put a nice backing. I did it this way, extend it out so my 1-year-old can't push it down. And then, yeah, I'll do another video showing what it looks like finished. And I'm gonna do a lot of touch-up paint in the front and clean it up.